Welcome to As Above.
So below,
I am Kisha Lee, the Psychic Yogi.
and I'm Cidnee Rich, and this is Astro Reiki Virgo season. So it started this month on the 22nd, and it will go until September, probably the same 22nd. We are finally into this mutable energy. And I say finally because I do feel like it's time for a shift, a change. And we felt that big shift and that change kind of being started with the blue moon that we had recently. So I think that now we're getting into this Virgo season energy of being able to conform or to adjust or to mutate, if you will, into what is this energy feel like? What is this energy teaching us about where we're going and this new path, this new chapter that we're all in as a collective and as well as individually. And as the I like to call Virgo earth angel energy, right? So I feel like we're really in this guided period as we've stepped into Virgo season of where we're going, and we have our little guide, just like the hermit is the tarot card. We have our little lantern and we're on our path that we just got on, and now we're adjusting along the way and we're taking it our little steps, right? We're not running through Virgo season. It's earth energy, so it's still nice and slow, and we're just taking our time. And that kind of goes to that classic, like detail oriented energy of Virgo, anyways. When you're detail oriented, you're slowing down enough to make sure that you're checking everything and you're really paying attention to all of those smaller pieces of things, so that when you do get to that bigger whole, everything is doing what it needs to be doing, and everything is working, and it's working in a way that is or it's working in a way that is efficient. Virgo is a very efficient energy, and so this season we're kind of just polishing things up by slowing down and really figuring out, what it is that we are still healing, or what it is that we need to kind of just allow to settle a little bit into, see what form it's taking after us getting out of this super intense fiery Leo energy. I mean, August was jam packed with astrological transits that really were doing its thing. Okay, like it was those 2 weeks in between, in the middle of August, were intense. And so now, after all of that friction, we get into Virgo, and we can kind of like cool that energy down. You see it as well with the weather. Weather is a great indicator of energy, and it's gotten a little cooler. And I feel like it's earlier than it's ever been, where the temperatures dropped as like at night, like it has been. I'm like, ooh, I need to get my little sweater. It's a little cold out here. And it's still like August. Like, that's crazy. But I think that that's like an indicator of what's happening energetically. We're like cooling down. We're like taking a moment to be a little bit more nurturing, right? Virgo is a very nurturing kind of energy of like, how can we help? How can we help the situation? And that's like taking that time to see where we need to still attend to, but also tending to ourselves in a way that is very practical and realistic, but also intuitive. So being more in tune with your body, understanding the feedback that it's giving you, just like how nature is kind of giving us that feedback with the temperature change. It's like it's okay, we're starting to adjust. And so we're ready, we're getting ready for something. That's what this energy feels like. We're getting ready for what's next. And so what adjustments need to be made? How can we really support ourselves throughout this change and what's coming in, and maybe even also like getting to know ourselves again with this shift. I feel like we're really coming back into who we are now. Like, we're always evolving, right? But I genuinely feel that that full moon was that shift into the new phase, the new chapter. And Virgo, as it being like a teacher energy in itself, with it being ruled by Mercury, it's like relearning who we are. or relearning what we need, or relearning how we want to move and exist and be in this world, and how we want to be of service as well, with the knowledge that we've gained throughout this whole year. It is the sixth, astrological sign, so we're halfway. And so it's like a good check-in point. And so allowing ourselves with this mutable energy to really start to make those adjustments and kind of get settled into this new energy. So when we get to Libra season with that cardinal energy, we're ready to move forward confidently into what's next. Virgo, the maiden, which I also, like I said, I like the earth angel better. She kind of even looks like an angel when you see that image. It kind of looks like she has wings. So it's like the helper, right? It's just the helper is that energy. And so this month or this season, just really seeing where you can help others, but also how you best help others is how you can best help yourself. The classic thing they say about Virgo energy is that we can give advice all day long, but do we take it? Seldom. Okay. We can tell people all day, this is what you need to do, this is how you need to do it. And we might be super right too. But when it comes around for us taking that in, it is we're a little hard-headed there. And so it's like allowing like yourself to be more aware of like, oh, when I'm helping others, this is how I help them. So maybe I can use that same help for myself and show up for myself in that way and be a service to myself that way, because Virgo rules the sixth house in astrology, which is the house of service. And it is also correlated to like your work ethic. Your career house is the 10th house, but the house of work is the sixth house. And so it's like how you show up when you are at that job, and the energy that you pour into it, and the care that you put into the things that you're doing when it comes to helping others or doing that work. And that is a way to really kind of integrate this season, is like, how can we help ourselves be better to ourselves, so that we don't forget what all we've learned over this year, and we really are caring for it, nurturing it. Like the Queen of Pentacles, she is the caregiver, and she's showing up and she's making sure that everyone has everything that they need, and really very attentive to the individual needs of people. Virgo, that detail oriented energy, is helpful because everybody's different. And we learn a lot through our interactions with people because we're different. We're not just one way, we're multifaceted. And so allowing ourselves to be kind to ourselves and say, like, you know what, today I need to be nurtured this way. Today, I need to just not do anything. And that's also that mutable energy of Virgo, allowing yourself to just make decisions as the days come and not feel so rigid in that decision making, right? And not getting too caught up in the analyzing either, which can happen with Virgo energy, but like letting yourself change your mind and not beat yourself up over it. Or decide, what, I thought I was ready to do this, but maybe I'm not ready yet, and that's okay. And realizing like this is the time for those adjustments. It's okay to adjust. It's okay to like reassess and reevaluate. Very Mercury retrograde, right? So with that, everything's cooling down in a sense, but we still have some pretty spicy Astro. We have today, the 28th, Mercury, oh, I'm sorry. Today, Mercury, yes, is sextiling Mars. So if you're listening to this later, you can retrospectively look back and see like, maybe you had some interesting communications with people, maybe very passionate and maybe very like exciting, or very that you were exploring different topics in a way that you haven't before. So Mercury is in Leo, so you have that passion. You've got Mars in Gemini, so you have that curiosity, but also it's like let's do something with that information that we're getting. We also have Chirons at play today, So some wounds may have come up in terms of maybe your actions or things that you are literally doing, because Mars is sextiling Chiron. So you might have found yourself realizing, I got to change this action or this thing that I'm doing because it's not helping this place in my chart where Chiron lives. It's kind of agitating it. That might have come up for you today as well. And then the moon, it's in Taurus and it's sextiling Saturn. So you might have this emotional tug of war today a little bit, in the sense of like trying to establish your boundaries or keep your boundaries. You might have found your boundaries kind of be a little bit more flexible today, and that would be an indicator of that sextile with Saturn and the moon. So that's just today. I wanted to highlight that because I think it's cool to be able to see like, oh, this happened today, and see like maybe how that might connect with some of the astrological transits. But overall for Virgo season, Mercury's going to finally go direct. Cheers, round of applause on the 28th. So that's fabulous. On the 29th, the next day, we're going to have Venus entering its home sign of Libra. And so that's going to bring us all some sweet, sweet love. Okay. I'm telling you guys, if we've been feeling like things have been a little turbulent or a little too mental when it comes to our love connections or our friendships, or maybe things that just have felt a little off, that Libra energy is going to come in and just smooth it on out. And so that is definitely something I am very much so looking forward to. Sunday the 1st is a little interesting. So unfortunately, but fortunately, this is the last time that Pluto will be entering Capricorn. One last time, y'all. We have to have one last go around with Pluto and Capricorn. And so it enters on the 1st, and it will finally leave us the hell alone November 20th or something. But this is important because this is truly the last of that old, static, crunchy, rigid, played out Capricorn paradigm that we have been trying to escape for the past 4, 5, 8 years. We're finally getting out of it. But with that, be aware, we're going to probably see some very similar themes that have been very strong over the past 4, 8 years, resurrected during this next 3 months. But the reason why it's coming back up, because it's literally like the last hurrah, like it's getting out of here. So we can at least look at it that way. Uranus is also going to go retrograde on Sunday. So some of this unexpected progress that we've seen, we could see that slow down. I hope that's not the case, but it definitely could. We could see some of that, excitement for new energy kind of start to slow down. That innovative quality start to feel like it's harder to kind of be in this space of like the new. But it's just temporary, of course. We have a new moon on the 2nd. We have Mars entering Cancer, which I think will be pretty interesting. So I definitely suspect a lot of love movement in Virgo season, with Libra in Venus and Mars going into Cancer. Definitely see that being a big thing. Mercury will go into its home sign of Virgo on the 9th. So our communication will also strengthen during this season, which will be awesome as well, especially when it comes to themes of love. So we'll be able to actually communicate in a way that is clear and concise, but also emotional, and get some things done and actually get some movement in that space. And then lastly, we have a full moon in Pisces, which will be the very first lunar eclipse of the next nodal transit that will happen in January, when the North Node moves from Aries to Pisces. So be cautious, be aware of what comes up during that full moon, because it is highly likely that that's going to be an indicator of some themes that you might be experiencing next year with the lunar shifts. Okay, much like whatever you've been experiencing this year with Aries and Libra, those themes, checking out where Pisces and Virgo is in your chart connected to that full moon energy, can show you where you might find some changes happening for you as we go into 2025. So with that, let's see what the collective messages for the season. The Virgo season. Ooh, ooh. My birthday's next Saturday, so it's a week away. It's so funny because literally Mercury retrograde has hampered my ability to make clear, concise decisions on my birthday plans. So therefore, I have decided to lean hardcore into my Taurus moon and just do the most chill thing possible, because I could not for the life of me make a decision. And I blame that squarely on Mercury being retrograde, truly. All right, let's see what the collective message is. Virgo season. What do we need to know? What's happening? What is the Earth Angel helping us with? How are we helping ourselves? Ooh, the Hierophant's at the bottom. So I love this because I talked about us being making adjustments to who we are becoming. And this is Taurus energy. So that commitment to self, that commitment to our journey, that commitment to our purpose and our path is part of facilitating that change that we are enduring this season. Four of Wands, oh my God, this is all about building a sturdy foundation. So exactly, we are making these adjustments during Virgo season that are in alignment with who we are becoming, our commitments, our values, our growth, so that we could really be ready to have an exciting future ahead. I love the Four of Wands. It's all about celebration, achievements, actually getting everything that you're wanting, that your spirit, your soul is wanting with the fire energy. Wow, you better shut the front door. The Magician is here. Okay, this is literally Virgo energy, Mercury energy. So what we have been manifesting for ourselves, we're going to see, y'all, this season. I am telling you, we are going to start to see our manifestations take shape. They may not be completely formed. Probably Scorpio season will really solidify them, but they're starting to take shape. We're starting to see, oh my God, look at these things that I've really been working towards and I've really been guided towards, and knowing and trusting start to really come into play. Temperance, balance, alchemy. We're changing energetically. Things are coming, like I said, into different form. This is the time. This is a divine timing energy. So the patience, right, that we have really given to ourselves, and the trust that we've given to ourselves and to spirit, I genuinely feel that this Virgo season is going to start to show us a lot of those inclinations of what's to come, based off what we have manifested for ourselves, what we believe that we know is ours to have. I mean, honestly, y'all, this is the most, I feel, Astro Reiki wise, exciting, like positive. I always tend to positively read my cards anyways, but this definitely feels like spirit is like, yes, y'all. Okay. Things are happening for you. I promise. All that hard work, you did it. It was not in vain. It was not. And Virgo is very hardworking energy. So I appreciate us getting to see some of the fruits of those labors during this harvest season. So very exciting.
Yay. That's how I feel. I'm kind of like, ooh. I never really thought of myself as a big fall person, but the temperatures dropping a little, feeling that little crispness in the air. It's like, this is nice. Okay, it's not so intense. It's not so in your face. The sun isn't going so hard now. It's like it's calmed down a little bit, which appeases my Venus and Virgo, of course. So it's kind of like, all right, yeah, we can still like, have nice vibes, but it can be like chill. It can be chill, chill, nice vibes. And so with that being said, what has been coming to me for Virgo season is kind of like ah, all right. We've come through these intense transits and some intense moments this past summer. And it's a good opportunity now to just kind of take a breather and slow down a little bit, right? Because Earth is a slower moving element out of all of them. And so it's like, all right, let's just kind of step back a moment, get back into some routines. School has just began for some people, and so, or some families. And so it's kind of one of those things where it's like, okay, we know this, right? We know this season, we know how this operates, and it's a good time to get back not only into learning, but for me, this learning is a deepening of self. I think it's probably because the retrogrades and so forth, it's kind of turning inwards, right? Uh, Me and Cidnee actually picked this up for the 8/8 Lionsgate portal. I was like, I don't know. Like, did you want to do something for Lionsgate? She was like, I'm not really feeling it. And I'm like, yeah, same here. And I think it's just because with all the retrogrades, it didn't feel like a time to be like, "Rah," like 888, look at me. It felt more of like an introspective time, right? Looking at your own cultivation of confidence and authenticity and areas and different ways how you can further your impact and your influence and so forth. And so to me, this season also feels a bit introverted. Virgo, go figure. But it's kind of like that hermit energy, it's about self-reflection. And what has been coming to me for Virgo season is one of tending to certain things and care. The word tend and care, like, so it's a little TLC for this season. And really nurturing the things that you value, nurturing the things that are more growth oriented, instead of being stuck in these same cycles and patterns and habits that are just disenfranchising, empowering things where you're just like, what is this? I don't know what this is, but I'm done with it. Okay. And so it really, to me, I noticed the focus has been like, okay, spiritually, um when it comes down to your spirituality, what needs to be tended to? What needs to be amplified? What efforts need to be put in to create more structure, more routine? I took like the last 2 weeks off from my Ashtanga yoga practice because you get sweaty, and I'm like, my hair is straight. I don't want to be, I don't want to mess up my hair right now. so, so I took the last 2 weeks off. We also don't practice on a full moon or a new moon or the first 3 days of your cycle. So those were other, opportunities for me to be like, I can't practice, girl stuff and moon stuff. But this week it's like, yep, I'm ready to get back in there. Let's get to sweating, and let's get to, feeling stronger in our bodies, more flexible, like that mutable energy, but more grounded, right? Like the earth energy as well. Um, and also turning that focus back to self. My particular yoga practice is really about going inwards, and not that other yoga styles aren't, but this one is very traditional type of, it's like routine. It's going to be the same consistent poses anywhere you go around the world, taking the same class. It's going to be the same damn thing. And I used to hate it, right? It's kind of like life. I used to hate all the same boring thing, the discipline, the structure, it's just too heavy, too grounded for me. But now I realize, no, I need that. Okay. The first thing I teach in intuitive development is grounding. Like, how does that actually work? Right. And so to me, this season is about tending to those needs that help you to feel more present, more grounded, um, having more structure. I realize actually, as much as I used to avoid having structure and routine, it actually gives me more freedom. And you would think, like, well, how does that really work? Right. But structure just means, like, on this day I'm doing this day I'm doing this. And it helps me to actually manage my time better because now I know, oh, well, I can work around that schedule, right? I can take more control of my life and my schedule when I know Monday I teach at the school and then I do yoga. Tuesdays I teach and then I do women's meditation, right? Wednesday I teach and then I go to yoga. So it's kind of like, oh, okay. So that helps me to have more freedom, more creativity in how I utilize the rest of that free time. So having that structure isn't necessarily a negative thing. Right, having discipline in my self-care routine at night, or when I wake up in the morning and I do my morning yoga and Reiki and face massage and all this sort of stuff and meditation, it sets the tone for the day. Right. When I start my mornings off and my evenings with prayer, it just sets a certain tone. And so that structure really helps to hold you in this place of security, being secure within yourself, being grounded in yourself, what it is that you have to offer, how to manage power struggles or power dynamics and energy distribution a lot better, which to me, energetic distribution and becoming a master of that really is about what a lot of people are talking about, nervous system regulation and dysregulation. To me, having those things like structure and implementing those types of the support and the things that you need on a regular basis, that discipline really helps you to I don't know, it just kind of helps you to feel more present, right? I was going somewhere with that, and then I kind of lost my train of thought, but it's Mercury retrograde, okay? But yeah, so for me, this season is about tending to your needs in the realms of spirituality, right? We know Virgo has this high priestess type of energy, which can lead itself to that spiritual knowledge, the spiritual seeker, like the hermit. It can also be an opportunity for you to check in and see what needs to be tended to when it comes down to your mental health. Um, letting go of the things that just drive you crazy or things that you ruminate about. It's sorry, people calling me, I don't know what's going on. But being able to prioritize your mental health. Oh my gosh, sorry. Being able to prioritize your mental health, and the information that you're taking in. Maybe are there certain skill sets that you need to develop? Is there certain knowledge or learning that you need to attain to help you move to a better level, a higher version of yourself in your personal development? Is there a oh, that's where I was going earlier when I said something about nervous system regulation, emotional regulation. Having structure, I knew it was going to come back around. Having structure, discipline, routine helps you with emotional regulation, okay? Because it keeps you from being in survival mode all the time, trying to be, up to par on what's next and what you got to do next and what's happening. And, this kind of scattered type of energy where your energy, gets kind of jumbled, or you get spaced out, or you get so overwhelmed that you completely collapse, and then of course that's not good for your mental, emotional, physical health, nothing. So maybe even financial health can be impacted. But so coming back to doing what you have to do to tend to your emotional needs. What is it that you need emotionally? What kind of support, whether it's from yourself, from your daily routines and activities, or if it's from the community around you. What kind of support do you need? Is it like spiritual support as well? Physically, what do you need to support you? I know for me, a clean, quiet home is very supportive for me. Otherwise, if I'm scattered, it's going to show in my house. Everything's going to be scattered as well. So I've deep cleaned my apartment this week, my car, like everything. But I gave myself that slower moving energy like Earth. And I just kind of one day at a time just did a little something. And eventually everything got done. And so physically can also be your physical body, but it could be everything that pertains to your career, your business, your community, and how you show up. It can also be in your finances, and just really tending to the little unresolved, unfinished parts and the things that you're just over with. It's like a good time to just kind of put a nice little bow on that and pew, let it go, so that you can move forward in the most autonomous version of yourself, the most authentic and free version of yourself, and really be able to commit yourself and devote yourself to the things that are aligned with your values and the things that are growth oriented, so that you can stay focused as you move through these different transits, in a way that's present, that's aware, that's grounded, that's I prefer the word balanced. I know regulation or dysregulation is really like a buzzword now. I prefer balance. Go figure, I'm a Libra. But yeah, as we move into Libra season after Virgo, this is a good time to harvest, right? Taking the culmination of everything that you've gained, reflect on all that, see what is no longer serving you in those main areas: spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, financial, sexual, social, all those things. And then being able to, implement what needs to be done. So as you go into Libra season, you can really take action on those things, right? And be able to use your resources within your community and those around you, but be able to stand for something and not be in that indecisive Libra energy. You'll be more decisive, more clear in who you are because of the structures that you set in place to get there. And then, when it comes down to Scorpio season, season of like death pretty much and rebirth, to me, that's where you take, the ends of what you've harvested, like the husk of the corn, right? You take the corn and you throw away the husk, and I guess you could use it to make tamales. I like tamales, but but outside of that, everything else you compost, right? And you let it go, you let it die, you let it be what it is, so that it can create fertile soil for the next cycle and next season. So yes, may you be full of a vibrant and bright harvest, plentiful harvest, but don't overextend yourself. Take it easy.
A very good Virgo message. Bless. So you can please like, share, subscribe, comment if you'd like. And as you know, if you want to get in on this Astro Reiki, which is literally amazing, so transformative, literally, I love it. Favorite thing. We also do readings at the end of Astro Reiki. Exactly, like that thumbs up. If you want to get in on that, come hang out with us on our Patreon. And we will be back here next Monday-ish, probably for the new moon. And yeah, enjoy your Virgo season.